Good morning. Actually, it's afternoon, but it's morning for me. I just been relaxing today with Vivi. There's Vivi. And fussing and frustrated about the job that I'm waiting on. She's just trying to get a hold of my references, and she's also a very busy lady, so she doesn't have a whole lot of time, so she tries to call my references in between her duties there at the job place, so I just have to be patient. As you probably saw in my video yesterday, I got a copy of Stuart Little 1 and Stuart Little 2. I love that movie. The first one. I never saw the second one. And I did have it, but when I was trying to get money to come up to Vermont, I sold a lot of my favorite DVDs. And now that I'm here, I am slowly reordering them because I had them because I enjoy them. And yes, I'm 61 years old, but as you know, I really didn't have a very normal childhood like most kids did. Most kids had lots of toys, They went to movies with their parents, and I never did. My parents were not kid-oriented at all. I think it would have been different if my dad had maybe married somebody else when I was 5. But, as it turned out, he was always busy working. He had a very affluent roofing business. And my stepmother basically doesn't like kids. I always had that feeling, but never really knew until she gave birth to my half-sister. And my poor half-sister, when she was much older, she would hear my mother talking about her pregnancy to friends and such, and how horrible it was, and she wished she had never done it. What a terrible thing to say in front of your own daughter. Can you imagine? And my sister even said to her, "Well, why did you have me?" And she said, "Well, your father wanted more children." How sad is that? Really, really bad. I thought maybe it was just a personal thing well, it probably was a personal thing with me. I came along with the package when she married my dad, so, but to come to find out years later that she really doesn't like kids, explains a lot about how pretty rotten she was to me, physically assaulting me when I was little and verbally assaulting me for the full 19 years that I was there. So, I was never shown a regular kid's life, that most kids have. I had very few friends. It was just not the greatest. The good thing is that my dad had a lot of money, and I had everything I ever wanted materialistically. So I guess that's why I'm such a materialistic person. I love clothes. I love my videos. I love nice things. My mom and my dad, both had very, very exquisite taste in clothing and design and things like that. So that's where I've gotten all my design ideas and my clothes and everything. But as far as doing regular kid things, nah. Only when I lived with my grandma. I lived with my grandma for a couple of years. I really don't know the whole story there, but I'm thinking that my dad was getting his act together. He was a very bad alcoholic. He divorced my birth mother, and I believe that happened when I was 3. Apparently she was abusive to me, but I don't remember anything about my mother, which is very, very strange. I don't remember anything about my birth mother whatsoever, except for the fact that she did leave me alone, because I remember being alone with the baby for a long time. So I think between the ages of 3 and 5, I stayed with my grandmother. And Grandma, she let me be a kid. I mean, you've seen the pictures of me with my cousins and my grandma. I was a happy-go-lucky kid when I was with her. It was just amazing. She took me to the movies, like I've told you. We take the bus down to White Plains. She lived in White Plains, New York. And we go down to the RKO Theater every single day when Mary Poppins was playing there. Every single day when The Sound of Music was playing there. So, those are my 2 all-time favorite movies and favorite memories of Grandma. She would just sit down, start snoring, and I would just be enthralled in these movies. I just love them so much. So as a result, and then my husband Dave had an even worse life. He had 2 raging alcoholics as parents. And all he ever did was break them up when they were fighting. So, neither one of us have a great childhood. So once we got together, we started living life. We just did things that we never could do as kids. Now he had 5 kids in his first marriage. And so his kids had a good kid's life doing things. So he did see the Disney movies, which I never did. So once they started coming out in the theater again, he would go take me to see Snow White, things like that I had never seen. And it was just amazing to see the world that children should have seen, when they were little. So it's like we're living our childhoods, and I'm 61 and I'm still, I'm pretty intelligent, I can hold a good job, but, I'm just enjoying my life the way I should have when I was a child. So don't be surprised when I'm sitting here and saying I'm watching Stuart Little, I'm watching Bambi, I'm watching Cinderella. I didn't have that joy, but now I have the joy of being able to see all this stuff. So, I love it. It brings me joy, And it's all the things I couldn't do with Elizabeth. So, anyhow, I'm going to get ready to watch Stuart Little 2. And I'm waiting on that job. The lady who, would be my boss is just a very, very busy lady. She is the director of guest services at the hotel. We have a lot of hotels around here. And she's just very busy. So she's trying to get a hold of my references in between all of her duties. So I just need to learn to be patient. I know I have an excellent chance. She wouldn't be trying to call them if she was not interested. So I just have to remember that. And it's true. I made a very good impression. And we've just got to wait, unfortunately. So I'm sure you've seen my video where I was trying on all the dresses from Prime Wardrobe and Amazon. That was fun. I guess I better send them back like tomorrow so that I don't run out of the 7-day trial period and get charged for them, because that would not be good. And it's just another good day here in Vermont from what I can tell. I have not been outside at all. My Prime Wardrobe box was right outside the door to my apartment. So anyhow, and I am kind of frustrated with myself over something. For some reason, I am still upset with one person, and I do not know why. I cannot get over it. Other people who she has talked more badly about have forgiven her. And for some reason, I can't let it go. I don't know why. I think it's just because she hurt me so badly with her words. And I can't let go, which doesn't make sense to me because I'm normally very forgiving of people. So I don't know if you can give me any insight into that. I mean, I just don't know why I'm still so hurt and so mad over this that I can't even say hi to her in a chat now. Apparently she can see me again and I can see her, but I don't understand why I am still so mad. I think it's just because I have finally come out of my shell, you know? Like I've said before, I spent years and years of being abused emotionally by my parents. You know, Dad wasn't much better because my stepmother would tell him everything and, you know, convince him that I was a rotten kid, which I wasn't. But, you know, she didn't like kids and she didn't like dealing with me. And that was, you know, a problem. And so Dad acted the same way she did. And I took all of this for like 25 years. All this abuse. The same thing. My first husband, I married him to get away from my parents. And he was a wife beater. So it's like I spent 25 years being physically and emotionally abused. And then once I met Dave, it was all brand new. He helped me come out of my shell. I still had problems with being confronted. He would yell at me or confront me, and I would still hold it all in. I wouldn't let it all out. You know, I wouldn't yell back at him. I would just be extremely hurt. And then once he died, it was like it all just opened up. My anger over 32 years of being with him and the last 5 years of dealing with his illness and having to be the one to do everything all the time, I finally got so mad and so angry at the doctors who didn't take care of him while he was alive. And it all just came pouring out after he died. And never in my life have I ever confronted anybody, ever. Have I ever talked to anybody, ever, about my feelings and about how I feel, you know? And like last year when I first came to Vermont, and my cousin, I came up here for her. I drove 1,200 miles to be with her. But at the time, her daughter and her grandson were here, and we didn't know each other very well. And she's got emotional problems where she cannot deal with too many people at the same time. So she was concentrating on her daughter and her grandson and not wanting anything to do with me. It was like, okay, you're here, that's good. But I'm busy, I have things to do over here. I can't deal with more people. And I was extremely hurt. I'm like, but I'm your cousin. I just drove up here 1,200 miles to be with you. And she was so mean and so inconsiderate. And of course, at that time, I didn't understand her mental issues, her emotional issues. And I was so hurt. I'm still kind of hurt over it. It's very hard to get over it. But we did get over that hump, and we've become extremely close. And we love each other so much. I love her like a sister. And yeah, it happened again this year. I think every time there's, like, other people in her home, she gets overwhelmed, you know. And the visit wasn't exactly the best it could have been this year. So, I kept my distance because I know, that's how she is. And I got hurt a few times, but, you got to understand other people. And why I cannot understand this other person and forgive her, I don't know. I just feel so much anger and hurt in me from a person I don't even know. It makes no sense to me. I think maybe I just get hurt a lot more easily now. I mean, I've always been a very sensitive person, but I seem to be more sensitive than I've ever been in my entire life. And I just don't know. Why I can't let it go when other people have forgiven her and they're talking to her again. But I just can't seem to find it in my heart to forgive her. And I don't know why. And I'm bearing my soul to everybody right now. I'm not sure. I have so much anxiety in me over the way she treated me that one night. And I think it's just because I'm not that way. I've never been that way. I've never been vindictive. I've never been sneaky. I mean, I've been the brunt of verbal and physical abuse my entire life. And especially during the last 5 years of Dave's life, when he had obviously some sort of dementia. He was a totally different man than he was when I married him for the first 25 years. And then his body started failing him, his brain started failing him, and he started verbally abusing me. And there was one day where he actually threatened to hit me. And that was the day I said to myself, I'm going to have to put him in a home because he's getting dangerous. It could have been Alzheimer's, I'm not sure. But like I said, he had diabetes. He had the abnormal CT scan with the cyst on his liver that doctors assumed was cancer before they even did a biopsy. And then his cirrhosis, we found out he had cirrhosis. He was a very heavy drinker before he met me. And, once we found all that out, and having to deal with him since he found out he was Mensa, the top 2% priority, top 2% in the whole nation of the Mensa Society. He became very obnoxious after that. So, 2005 to 2013 was not an easy life for me. I just don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I've bared my soul to everybody, and I just really can't understand my feelings right now as to why I cannot forgive one person who I'm not even close to. It's just, it hurt me to my core. And I don't know. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you have any insight into any of this, I sure would appreciate it. And I'm sorry that one person that I'm talking about, maybe someday I can start talking to you again, but for right now, I just still have all the anger that I can't let go of. And I know all my friends say, let it go, let it go, let it go. And I can't for some reason. So, that's it in a nutshell. Hope you all had a great day today. It's Thursday, and I've been sleeping. I had to take a Tylenol PM because I have a headache, And I hope you all take care. Bye-bye.